Hey everyone, it's Natalie. Today I am talking about the aging narcissist. Oh yeah, age doesn't escape the narcissist, and it doesn't look good on them either, unfortunately. They always get worse. They never get better, guys. Um, and there's a few things that happens with the aging narcissist. One, and this is a big one, people that have been in their life choose to leave their life because they just, quite frankly, get tired of the narcissist. They get tired of the treatment. They get tired of the scapegoating. They no longer want to be in contact with somebody that treats them the way that the narcissist does. Another thing that happens to the narcissist is that they grow envy of people's youth, okay? They grow envy of people's relationships, especially new ones. They get jealous of happiness. And let me read you something from somebody that has a YouTube channel too, which I do recommend that you go and see her channel. She is great. She's also a coach like me. Says, once adult children of narcissistic parents choose to take positive action in order to reclaim his or her personal power, the game is then changed in their favor. It is at this time that some individuals would choose to go no contact, leaving their narcissistic parents behind for good. And I will spell her channel. Her name's Luminous Czar. It's LUMINOUSZ space ZTARR. While I was reclaiming my life after narcissistic abuse, her channel, Angie Atkinson, one of my favorites is Narc Survivor, and my big favorite was Peace and Harmony. Those three life coaches inspired me to be a life coach. They helped me heal. They helped me stay mindset on no contact. They helped me understand narcissism to a T. They are huge influencers on YouTube when it comes to life coaching and narcissistic abuse. So the statement I just read about how, people choose to leave the narcissist, especially when it is their parents, adult children are not going to tolerate that for all of their life. Even the golden child tends to start seeing it when they get older in life. And the reason why that happens is because the golden child has an incestual relationship with their parent. And I'm talking specifically about mother, son, dad, son, or daughter. And what happens is they end up not getting married. They end up achieving all their life goals because the narcissistic parent and the golden child are the narcissist dream, okay? So they usually do very well in life, or the opposite, they're just spoiled to death. But usually they're very successful. So could you imagine having success and then going home to your big house and being alone? Could you imagine waking up every single day without somebody on your side? Could you imagine never having family, never having children, all because of the demise of the narcissistic abuse? Because the golden child was so blinded for so long that they never saw it? Could you imagine your whole life emotionally only being connected to the narcissist? I want you to ponder that for a minute. Once that golden child starts seeing how lonely they are, all because of their parent, they start growing remorseful, regret, maybe even suicidal. They're tired of appeasing the monster. They're tired of living this life that they didn't create, but the monster did, the narcissist did. And when that happens, the golden child starts to wake up and realize that their whole life has been a lie. Their whole life has been controlled by this person. On the other hand, the scapegoat tends to be the rebellious one, tends to get in trouble with the law, tends to get in trouble with drugs and alcohol, all of this stuff because they're rebelling from the very fact that they are controlled. But then you also have to understand the scapegoat is not only that, but they can also grow up to be very timid, shy, quiet individuals. The ones that don't speak up for themselves because they've learned never to say their opinion, never speak their opinion, never speak their strength, never find their personality. But then they end up doing that because they're the first to open their eyes. They're the smartest ones. The scapegoat are the smartest ones in the narcissistic family cult. They're the smartest ones. And when they start to age, along with the aging narcissist, the narcissist tends to be overbearing. And the golden child still doesn't really see this. The scapegoat sees this. The scapegoat is not naive all the time. They get tired of it. And the quote that the paragraph that I just read you, let me read it one more time so you can really let it resonate with you because it's the absolute truth. Once adult children of narcissistic parents choose to take positive action in order to reclaim his or her personal power, the game is then changed in their favor. It is at this time that some individuals would choose to go no contact, leaving the narcissistic parent behind for good. Let that resonate with you because that's where my husband and I are at this point in our middle, late, going to late 30s. You can only tolerate so much control, so much of where your opinion and your feelings don't matter in the family narcissistic cult program. It doesn't matter, and you just get tired of it, especially when you have a family and you have a partner, and the narcissist tends to never like any of the partners of her children. So, they get tired of hearing about breakup, divorce, taking control of your family dynamic, never doing anything to their standards, never meeting their standards. So they choose to go no contact because the narcissist does the exact thing that they're afraid of, and that is being alone. See, that the narcissist has a thing of having control over everyone because they are afraid to be alone. And they think the only way they cannot achieve that is by being strict, by having control, by just being nasty people. They think being rude and ugly and righteous and entitled will cause them not to be alone. But it does the exact opposite. If you really ponder what I'm telling you, it does the exact opposite, guys. So when the narcissist begins to age, and I'm using my personal experience from what I saw from my point of view and my husband's, is that when their children start getting partners, and say my husband and I, okay, so I'm his partner, they start being envious and jealous of that relationship due to the fact of they're losing control of the scapegoat or golden child. They're jealous of that young relationship and the love and everything that comes along with the big, beautiful, adrenaline-filled relationship, because that is how it feels when you first meet someone. Your adrenaline is pumping because you're so excited to be around this person. They're no longer excited to be around their mother and father. They are jealous of the youthness of the couple. And then primarily, they are, especially in my case, they are jealous of the beauty of somebody. They are aging. They're not getting younger. They're not getting prettier. And one thing about narcissists is that majority of them are not good looking. Yeah, you have Hollywood and stuff, but that's like a small percentage of the world population. Narcissists tend not to be very beautiful people. You do have the ones that want to drive, sports cars and dye their hair and get plastic surgery and everything like that. But it doesn't mean that they're beautiful people. It just means that they have money and they trick beautiful people into being in their presence. A lot of them, like prostitutes, especially when it comes to plastic surgery, they're the first to get plastic surgery. So what the aging narcissist does in their child's relationship is they ruin it. They are losing control of that child, and they can't stand it. They can't stand to see their child happy. They can't stand seeing the youthfulness of that young, fresh relationship because they don't know what that is. They don't know what love is. That's their problem. If they knew what love was, they would not be a narcissist. Narcissists have a tendency to copy emotions, every emotion you can think of, from crying to love to, I don't know, I can't think off the top of my head, but even anger. They even copy anger. The one thing that they don't copy is jealousy, resentment, greed, relentlessness of people. They are magicians. They trick people all the time. See, that's what they do know. They know deceitfulness. That's what they know because that is how they've been their whole life. They have grown up being deceitful, liars, thieves, backstabbers. They're like your friend. If you have like a big group of friends and like, oh, I can't tell that person anything because they're backstabbers, because they're the ones to go tell everybody in their group what private thing you told them. They're the ones that usually have control of their group. They're the ones that think they're the most beautiful person in their group. That's why they're in control of their group. Because of that, they think they have superiority in that group. They think they're the highest achiever in that group. Everything you can think of that's negative. That's what they think when you have a large group of friends, especially when you're in high school, because you can really tell this with the popular kids or the not popular kids, right? The cheerleaders and the art students. So with the aging narcissists, they are just growing into a real class act, let's just say. So when you're dealing with something like that in your relationship, you get tired of it, especially your spouse, who more than likely didn't come from narcissistic parents. They can't get used to it. And that's usually what happens is they wake up their partner to this too. Is they're like, dude, like this is not normal for your parents to treat me like this. This is not normal for them to tell us how to live our life. This is not normal for them to not care what our opinions and feelings are. It's not normal, guys. You are a true human being. You bleed blood, just like they do. What gives them any right to think that they have any power or control over your life, especially after the age of 18? They have no right, guys. So the aging narcissist, in my case, also went and had plastic surgery. She had a facelift, and nobody talked about it. And it was so obvious she had a facelift. She went away for 3 weeks on I guess that you go have plastic surgery and then you go to a resort to heal. So that's what she did. And instead of them saying she went and had plastic surgery, they just said that she went on a resort by herself. She came back looking like a totally different person. And my husband was like, dude, my dad told me that my mom had plastic surgery on her face. Do not say anything to her. And I'm like, what? Like, you should be happy, first off, that that person lived after that. Second, if that's what their choice was, you should be happy for them. You should say something about it. You should say, how did it go? How was it painful? How did you feel?